Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Everyone, welcome back to Sada Education. Our topic today is about Islamic finance and sustainability. Is the planet more important than people? That is the question I'm asking about the role of Islamic finance in this sustainability movement. We know very well that in the 60s, when we talk about economic development, it is all about economic growth, that is the increase in goods and services over the year. But then the economic growth model has not been able to observe the income distribution question, because there is no trickle down and people are becoming poorer and poverty is becoming worse. So the pursuance to further improve income distribution within the economic growth parameter has been the focus of economic development. But yet we can see that these objectives were not met very well, and the concern or the focus have gone into the emphasis on human development or human happiness. And there are various indicators of human happiness to indicate economic development. And today we can see that this human development has been complemented with the concern for the environment, concern for the planet. So we can see that we have what we call sustainable development. So the United Nations defines sustainable development as development that meets the needs of the present, the people, the human being that we are today, without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So now the concern is, how can we survive life on this earth, at the same time making sure that our future generation are able to enjoy life as what we do today. So the sustainable development calls for concerted effort or collective effort towards building an inclusive, where everybody will participate, a sustainable and resilient future for people and planet. And then, of course, when we look at Islamic finance, and what sort of role that Islamic finance can do in this sustainable development movement. But Islamic finance has been at most reactive to this sustainable development agenda by advocating the Maqasid Sharia as the basis of sustainable development in Islam. And we know very well, that the Maqasid Sharia serve to protect the Daruriyat, which is faith, deen, and that is our belief, our fundamental belief in the Creator and the Sharia. Life, which is nafs, so life is a very important, ingredient in the Maqasid. Life needs to be protected. So the law, the Sharia provides rules and law to protect the faith, to protect life, to protect the akal or the intellect, and to protect family, to protect al-mal. So all of this daruriyat fits very well in the sustainable development ecosystem. So in protecting faith, we have we have our 5 pillars of Islam and the pillars of Iman, to protect life, the Sharia, we have, the heart, to protect the intellect, the Sharia prohibit the consumption of alcohol, and to protect the family. For example, the Quran prohibited fornication and advocated marriage, and And for property, for example, the Quran has made al-bay' permissible and making riba prohibited. So these are the simple, justification for the Islamic role, for Islam's role in the sustainable development. And we don't have any issue with regards to the philosophy of the SDG. And because as we move on, we can see that these SDG goals are further refined into practice by the ESG system. So while SDGs are global goals set by the United Nations, ESG is a rating system used by companies to measure their environmental and social credentials, right? So we are often, met with discussion with regards to in Islamic finance, with regards to impact investing, responsible financing, and Islamic social finance and all that. So these are all the reactive of Islamic finance towards the SDG and ESG movement. So addressing ESG factor can help organization manage their environmental and social imprint and determine their business risk and opportunities. So this is what I was saying, that when the companies or the big corporation are observing the SDG goals, these are done through the use of the ESG rating to gauge to what extent companies and corporations are observing this so-called SDG goals. In addition, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are increasingly being recognized as a beneficial framework for responsible investment, and the business world shift its focus more intensively for the ESG. So the ESG is the operative system, to bring in the values that SDG is imputing into our business and in our business organization. So we can see that the SDG and ESG connectivity is very, very practical, and this diagram will help us see how the 17 SDG goal fits into the ESG rating. And this is how we would like to see the Islamic finance, being able to champion our financial system, the system of al-bay' into this ESG ecosystem. But my own observation is that the sustainability agenda is tough on carbon emission, human trafficking, child labor, food adulteration, gambling, narcotics, but less concern over the evils of usury, that is riba, that we know have destroyed trillions of dollars of global wealth in recurring financial crises over centuries, right? So, for example, in the global financial crisis, that starts with the U.S. subprime crisis in 2008, have destroyed over $30 trillion of wealth, and the recent 2023 bond crisis in the American regional banks have more than $3 trillion wiped out. And all these are the consequences of riba-based money lending. So why is it that the sustainability agenda and ESG agenda were not giving a strong oversight on usury? Because that is what capitalism is all about. But the problem here is Islamic finance too is keeping mums over this sustainability with oversight on usury. it has less to offer the sustainability movement from solution the Quran has prescribed, which is al-bay'. This is because Islamic banking and finance today is caught unable to free itself from the clutches of riba. Wrestling with riba have only led Islamic finance into the back doors of riba. Critics of backdoor riba is common knowledge today, and striving to put Islamic finance back onto the straight path. So this is the idea that we would like to share, to what extent Islamic finance is able to contribute, not in a reactive manner, but in a much more positive manner to provide some surprises to the sustainability movement, what Islam can provide, other than to reiterate or to justify how Islamic finance fits into the sustainability agenda. So we can stop here right now, and inshallah we'll continue in the next video. Please don't forget to comment and subscribe. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.